Hello and welcome to this brand new tutorial series by Knowledge Doctor. In previous tutorial, we are talking about variable and data types. So in this tutorial, we are talking about receiving input from user. So I already create a file in my Jupyter notebook. So let's get started. So it's open your local host. Okay. So in my case, it's Firefox. Okay. So it's my kernel. Okay. So let's talk about what is the variable first. Okay. So for revising here, so here you can see a is a variable name and 10 is the variable below. Okay, so if I trying to print a, so it will return me a value of a, so which one is 10. So now we are trying to discuss about inputs. So actually you know that Python is also similar as our native language English. So simply when you're getting input from user, so it will be input only for input method. Okay, so let's assume a variable here. So let's say user equal simply input. Okay, so this method will help you to getting input from user. Okay, so let's say enter a number number. Okay, and let's say, and when we are trying to input number, getting input. Okay, we are trying to print it, and you also print it data type. So let's say type, we already discussed about in our previous tutorial. Okay, so let's shift enter here. Okay, so enter a number. So let's say 20. So enter here. So you can see 20 is print here and its class is string. Oh no, it's string. But why? We are get here, we are put here 20 as the integer, but we get here string. Okay, so that's the problem. So Python already input from user as a string. Okay, not an integer or float or something. So now we have to convert it as an integer. So it's called a typecasting. What is that? It's typecasting. So you need to typecasting. So let's say user. So let's copy it here. Okay, and let's say user this one, the user one. Okay, so user one, and let's say user one and user one. Okay, so now when we are trying to typecasting, so let's say user two here. Okay, so let's say we are trying to convert it as an integer, so we need to declare this data type over this user. So here user one, so it will typecast it. So let's say user one is string, so now we are trying to convert it as an integer and it put into a variable, so it's user two here. So now we are trying to print it. So print type here. Okay, so print type user two. Okay, so here's the user two. So if I shift enter here, so enter number, so let's say 200 or 2000 here, so enter. So you can see 2000 is printed user one here. Okay, so it's type string, but you can see this is integer, so it will convert it as integer. Okay, so you can also convert it as a float here. So let's say float as a floating point number. So shift enter. So let's say same 200 or 201 here. Okay, so enter here. So you can see float, so it will convert it as float. So if we're trying to print it here, so here you can see some floating point number. Okay, so let's say user 2 and shift enter, and let's say 200. So you can see 200.0. So it's a floating point number. So this is the real method of typecasting. So if we're trying to take input from user as a multi number, I mean multiple input. Okay, so here's the truth. Okay, so let's say user let's say 01, and here is the user let's say 02. Okay, so now we're trying to input from user. So let's say input method here, so not a function, because Python is a OOP concept language, I mean object oriented programming language. So let's say enter two numbers. Okay, so two numbers. So here's the trick. Now you have to split it as a comma or a blank space. So let's try it as a split. So split as a comma. So now we are trying to split two variable as a comma. Okay, so you can see enter two numbers. So let's say 100 and separated by comma 101. Okay, so enter. And if we're trying to print here as a user, let's say 01, okay, and you're also trying to print user, user 02, okay, so you can see 100 and 101, okay. So now let's copy it here, okay, and put it here, okay, and let's run again, okay. So if we put here as a blank space, let's say 120 and 200, okay. So if I enter here, so you can see here an error, so not enough value to unpack, expected 2 and got 1. Why 1? Actually we already tells our interpreter that we have to you have to put the value as, I mean put the value separated by comma, okay, but we give here a blank space. Is it possible to split as a blank? Yes, it's possible, okay. So let's copy it here again, okay, and paste it here. So let's remove this comma and uh, enter blank space, okay. So if I shift enter here, so if we're trying to let's say 300 and 400, so here's the blank space, okay. So enter. So if I trying to print user 01, so you can see here 300, okay. So it's a 300, okay. And we also trying to print here as let's say user 0, okay. So you can see 400, okay. So actually Python uses interpreter, so variable is not a fact. You can see we use variable 01 here, also be, and here also be variable as user 01, okay. This will be changed, okay. So you can see something, okay. So here is the tutorial. I think you enjoy it, okay. So thank you and for watching this tutorial, and make sure to subscribe my channel for getting new more video tutorial in Python. Thank you and stay safe.